A nutwit, a person who has a nut-sized brain. My name is Abhilash Gupta and you are listening to Podcastation episode number 2. Let's get started. Now, I never actually liked this word nut. One, because it sounded completely stupid, and I must go on to say that I was super conscious about the words that I use, but now the situation is completely changed as you will find out later in the podcast. But the time being, let's go on to the second reason about my disliking for the word nut. And the reason that I did not like this word nut, the second reason I must say was simply because I hated the word. Okay, this makes complete sense. As I said, this makes complete sense. And also, speaking of this phrase, I wanted to ask you guys one thing. I was thinking if we could make this phrase my channel tagline, that would sound awesome. The podcast station where everything makes sense. That would sound cool. But back to the topic of nuts. And where was I? Yes, I remember. And now the day that I actually started liking this word nut was the day when I actually called my friend a nut as we were having a conversation and he was being super dumb and I called him a nut, and from that day I called him a nut so many times that we actually had to add this word into the do not say words list. And then we, instead of calling each other nuts or a nut, we started calling each other the nutwit. And that's what I'm gonna be talking about in the podcast. About hi, about how do nutwits get through their everyday life. And the first thing that I wanna state is that we nutwits are not liked by a lot of guys. And I must go on to say, and you're not gonna get any girl attracted towards you. And that's the case, that's pretty much the case because I haven't had a girlfriend till yet, and now I see the reason for that. and and I started being such a nutwit when I entered, when I passed on to the ninth standard. And there's one important, a very important trait of being a nutwit, that is we feel so energized all day that we utilize that energy by being mad and doing stupid things. We ought to utilize that energy somewhere, and we do that by being mad and doing stupid things. And I ought to tell you about this incident. One day, or I better say one night, I decided to stay up all night, and the only thing I did staying up all night was a freaking dance. Yes, that dance was actually called, what was it called? Yes, I remember, the Night Owl's Night Stay. Holy cow, I just came up with it. And you wouldn't be surprised to know what was the repercussion of that dance. The next day in the school, I was praying to die. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to sleep for a minute. But all in all, guys, the experience was super awesome. And being a nutwit doesn't get you people's affection and love and all that kind of stuff. On the contrary, it's gonna get you people dislikiness, if that's a word. I mean, like people in my class, they do not like me at all. Now you might be saying that, Abhilash, we keep changing our classes, go to different rooms, and how are the same people with you the whole day? Now, guys, in foreign countries, you guys might have the system like that, but in my country, that is India, a whole standard is divided into five parts, and the teachers come into our classes to teach us. And aside that big chunk of knowledge, I kind of feel proud when someone calls me a stupid and idiotic. A lot of people do that actually. And what it means is that I am a nutwit. They just confirm this, that I am a nutwit by just calling me a idiot and a stupid. And that's just a way of dealing with this, guys. I mean, the people who do the things tried and tested way, the way of dealing with us is that they just call us stupid and idiotic just because we do things in a unique manner and we go in a different direction than the world goes in. And guys, I mean, there's no problem being stupid and notorious and idiotic, and this all might sound like propaganda, precisely because it is. And I'm gonna turn this earth into a big nut. So, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And I hope that you are a nutwit too, just like me and my mysterious friend. And if you're not, you can become one by joining this community by just clicking the big red subscribe button and liking this video. Don't forget to share your feedback and suggestions by just commenting down below. I love to hear from you guys. This has been Abhilash Gupta with Podcastation. I'll see you later. Bye, guys. I have a very big question though. What's a nutwit?